The Panthers were in a mood at their fan day this morning, having a crack at both the Eels and the poor old Tigers. Take a listen.
Yeah, just to go out on a high like that, it's pretty incredible, and probably do the same thing at Tigers.
Wow. Just want to say, para Suns. Right here, right now, that's fact. Anyways, yeah, everyone gone before us, much respect, but as I said last night, we're the greatest Penrith team ever, so.
Thank you, James.
Yeah, a very humble Penrith Panthers team right there celebrating their victory in the grand final. Listen, it is greatness. We said it last week, if they went back-to-back, they're a great team, and they've shown that over the past couple of seasons. I love the fact that they're having a good time and he's had a big night and they're having a drink, and I've been there. It's the best. You're on top of the world. But it was a bit tasteless, just a couple of remarks there. Probably unnecessary, but again, under the influence, you know what I mean? Like, you cut him a bit of slack, but probably not the best idea from Coruscant when he's going there next year.
Well, it's dumb. Look, it's really stupid, to be honest. And I just think Penrith are really bad winners. They are bad winners. And there's a smugness, and there's they piss in their own party, Penrith, because they should be celebrated. This is going to be one of the great teams, and they should be celebrated and remembered that way. But they're just mugs, the way they carry on after a game. It's not only what they did there. Like, Coruscant taking the mickey out of the Tigers, who's about to join next year. Where's a bit of support and a bit of acceptance and acknowledgement of the previous Penrith teams? Fancy James Fisher-Harris come out saying we're the best Penrith team ever.
That was what I found the most insulting. Was you go back to 91, they beat a Canberra side that this Penrith team are now being compared to. 2003, that Penrith Premiership team, they rolled a Roosters team that nobody gave them a snowflake's chance in hell of winning that contest. So, look, I think they'd be better served.
Are they not the greatest team?
Yeah, look at this. I think they are.
Let everybody else.
But that's not for them to decide.
No,
probably more
I
so.
agree. I'm just
probably more so than yourself.
Look at this. Like, seriously.
Well, that's all right, to be fair. What's wrong with that?
Daddy loves you.
What does he mean by Daddy loves you?
Because apparently during the week, didn't he say we're their daddies in reference to Parramatta?
To someone saying Penrith's still Parramatta's little brothers.
Yeah, and he said we're their daddies. They're playing on that. Look, I mean, I concede it's hard to like them sometimes. I mean, they're a likeable bunch of guys, right?
Maybe they don't care.
They're good fellas. Well, they probably don't. They don't care if we like them. They don't worry about it at all. But I'm sure there's... But I'll tell you what, it's great grist for the mill for us, because you know next year when Penrith play Parramatta, you know what we're going to do? Is drag out every quote, every line they've said, and we're going to run it and churn it for a week.
So they're singing here Sweet Caroline. Is that for Mitch Moses? Explain this one.
Well, apparently that's Mitch's...
That's a song they play at Parramatta Stadium when he scores a try.
But to be fair, they play that song at a lot of grounds in the NRL now, so... Yeah. You know, it's played quite often at footy grounds, but
they are making a name for themselves. I mean, Kiki sang Glory, Glory last year.
Given everything else we've seen about Penrith, you think that's coincidence?
It could be. Who knows?
A coincidence. You're the best. Come on.
Look, honestly, mate, there's a way to win. Look, once the dust is settled, the results in, weapons are down, show some humility and grace towards your opponents.
They're not the only side to mock their opponents. I mean, Alfie got the St George can't play chant going 30 years ago. So
and 30 years ago...
They're not their Pat Malone there.
30 years ago, still being brought up.
What about this one, Reedy?
Well, I don't like this at all. And he's now taken this down. The NRL's been made aware of this. And I think some of the clubs obviously had a word to him about it and asked him to take it down. This I don't like. For me, this is the most offensive thing that has
we've
happened.
blurred out the word there, but it's a... well-known racial term.
Yeah. Which, I mean...
Penrith claims a term of endearment.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Honestly, at some point, these blokes got to be asked to act like men. They're carrying on like 16-year-old schoolboys, the way they're carrying on with this victory. They're getting so carried away. And good on them, they're so good. But the line's gone too far. And stuff like that. That's like... Another bloke called a player a name in a game last year and he got out for 4 weeks. if you remember that. He runs the risk of, he's proud Samoan. We all know that he's going to play for Samoa in the World Cup. He's a big chance of missing games now because, again, he got carried away with his own greatness. And it's someone at Penrith, whether it's Ivan Cleary, the coach, or whether it's Brian Fletcher, the CEO, have got to call these guys in and say, guys, show a bit of class. Just show just a little bit. Yeah. Just show some grace and humility in something you've done. Because not one Shrek has been shown so far. There's been Isaiah Yeo and Dylan Edwards are the only two you look at and walk away with some kind of integrity from what they say. The rest just act like rat mugs.
Well, regardless, they are the champions, and they've gone back to back. And the fans, well, they don't give a rat's. So, mission accomplished. Panthers channel Top Gun to go back to back. Explain this one to me.
Well, we've all seen the flick that came out earlier this year, and apparently they went and watched it all together. And I think it might have been their assistant coach, Cameron Ciraldo, who decided to tap into that whole mentality out of the movie, that they had a mission, that they were all in it together. And last year it was Mount Everest that they used as a theme to try and carry them right through until the grand final. And this year they've turned it into Top Gun, complete with the Aviator Sunnies and
they all had code
the officers'
they all
cut
had their
afterwards.
own code signs.
Right.
So Nathan Cleary was Iceman.
All right.
Jerome Luai was Breaker. He had it written on his shoes.
Who was Mav?
There was no Mav and there was no Goose.
Okay.
So, but there was an Iceman. That's about the only one.
So he'd argue there was a goose.
There was Fireball. Spencer Leniu was Fireball.
A few good. Mate, honestly, it was embarrassing. if your under 16s came to you with that idea, you'd say, well, kids, look, they'll grow up in a couple of years and look back and be embarrassed about it. Really? These are grown men. They're grown men.
Well, that's all right.
They're grown men. Oh, come on.
Because what they did was they related the film back to, they related the film back. In the film, there's dogfights. In a game of footy, there's dogfights, right? So they were on the impossible mission to go back to back.
It's not impossible.
In Top Gun, they're on the impossible mission.
It's not impossible, honestly.
I'm just giving you some perspective, Kenny, about where it came from.
Your perspective? Act like a 24-year-old man would act.
What's wrong? Seriously, Kenny, you can't be blown up about that.
You don't think it's childish?
No. No, I think that's fine. I think that's...
Case closed.
What code name's yours on Maverick?
Maybe I was Goose.
You said it.
So some bloke called me in the Penrith Sheds last night.
They weren't happy
Goose,
with you.
we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later.